Good morning, Andrea.
Good morning. Okay, before I get started, I just want to ask you to, which mic am I supposed to be on? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Before I get into the deep of the speech, I want to know, can everyone just raise your hands if you've made friends with somebody in this congregation? Okay. And if you have not extended yourself, raise your hand again if somebody else extended themselves to you. Okay. So there's something really important about that, because I believe that friendship is kind of what holds this group together. I'm having a little echo. Maybe my mic is too hot. I'm pretty hot. You know what I'm saying? I got a lot going on here. Okay. 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 There we go. I'm turning. Okay. And I have so many notes. I mean, look at this. I have like 15 pages of notes. Why? Because I'm afraid I'll forget something. So what I'm going to do when I'm done is just throw them at Danny. Okay? I mean, he looks like a great receptacle for this kind of stuff, right? So we're cool. I don't have to memorize anything. Okay? And I apparently lost the first page, but that's okay. I want to talk about 5 areas where I feel that friendship actually heals you. And I'm not talking about physical healing particularly, because I think that's part of it, but I think there's a lot more to be healed. In fact, I personally believe what a lot of psychotherapists tell me, which is, your mindset affects your physical body. It not only affects how you take care of it, but it affects how you feel. That you've read the studies about the cancer patients, and you've read the studies about people that fall into addictions. Mindset has a lot to do with it. And I want to answer the question right up front. Andrea, what gives you the right to talk about the healing power of friendship? I mean, certainly I'm no doctor. That goes without saying. And don't know all that much about the physical healing. But I do have the best friends in the world. I honestly get the best results in the world due to the friends that I have. I have honestly experienced amazing miracles, and if it weren't for my friends, the world would be a very boring place if we didn't have them. I mean, you would be a kid, your parents would tell you what to do, you would do it, and that would be the end of the story. There's no variety. But we cross-pollinate with each other, we exchange ideas, and sometimes do crazy things together. It's all part of the mix. And it's perfectly okay. So I went to San Diego for about 4 years or so to take care of my dad, and basically got kicked out of the house and came back up here. Always an exciting adventure. But when I came back, my friend Lori Wilson was there, and she saw me, and she was so surprised to see me, and she gave me a big hug and a big kiss and said, "I love you," like that. And as my hair was being blown back by the energy, I wanted to, why? I was like, that level of love was, wow, kind of shook me up a little bit. But because she is willing to throw herself into the friendship, I was actually healed of a lot of bad things I was experiencing. I was feeling unworthy, and she replaced it with worthiness. And I was not very confident, and she replaced it with, it's okay, you're a good person, you can be confident. And self-trust, that I was an okay person, no matter what I've experienced in life. So your friends can do that because they heal you from the inside out. When you look into the eyes of a friend, there's nothing better. Am I right? Okay. So do I have permission to give a few other stories? I have other personal stories. Okay, you might be one of them. I'm warning you right now. Okay. But what Lori did reminded me of the second principle of unity, which is that we're all spiritual beings, and the Spirit of God lives inside of us, so therefore we're all good. And without a friend to reflect that idea back to me, I probably would have stayed in a little misery for a while. Okay, Danny, catch. That was awesome. What a catch. Okay. Now, you guys know Susan Bearden. She comes to Unity, but you never see her in church. Why? Because she's always doing the work of 90 people. She's always taking the kids, taking care of them, and you probably won't see her much until potluck time after the kids are all returned to their parents and whatnot. But Lori, Susan, and I used to get together once a week and do our spiritual studies. We would listen to videos or tapes. We would read books. We would talk about great concepts. And we'd, of course, have snacks and go out to dinner, or Lori would cook for us or something, but we always had a great time. And we decided to actually start going on field trips, okay? It was kind of a very small study group. So we decided to put a wad of money in our pockets, and we just dug it out wherever we could find it, drive into town, and just go shopping everywhere. Try on everything. Wear any old crazy hat. Do whatever we wanted to do, knowing that we had the money to buy anything that we saw. And I almost bought like 50 things, but the drill was, you know, you don't have to buy it now. There's no shortage. Just go out and enjoy life. And that was such an inspiring experience. And we went another time, and Susan was in the market for a car. So you guys know that's kind of a big responsibility. When you have a car, you don't just pay for the car. You got to pay to maintain it. You got to pay for the gas. Well, she had a car, but the mileage was such that she really needed another one. And I think Lori at that time, she was wanting a new car, but she was actually trying not to pray about it because she was afraid she would jump into it too fast, you know, and take on a responsibility that she didn't really want. But she believes in the prayer, so she was trying to stay away from praying for a car because she knew it would be there the next day. Okay, that was a very wise decision. But for my part, there was no way I was going to get a car. I mean, it was completely out of, I mean, it wasn't even on the table. It wasn't like I could, you know, hope for one or wish for one, even though I could certainly use one. But within a year, all three of us had a new car. All three of us. So it was amazing, and it reminds me of the first principle of unity, which is that God's everywhere. Okay, it doesn't matter if you can't afford a car. God is arranging everything, orchestrating everything, bringing everything in. I mean, God arranges the salespeople, the people who build the cars, the people that sell their car or trade it in, so the availability is arranged by God. The money, the flow in and out is arranged by God. And in fact, not only did we each get a new car, but each one was a steal, literally. And each one was the exact model that we wanted, the exact right, perfect car, which we all still have our cars now. And it was zero struggle. Not a one of us had to think twice about getting that car. When it came, it was as easy, took care of it in 20 minutes, boom, done. All of us, no matter where we were coming from financially. Not only that, as an extra bonus, I want to share that God threw in a surprise for us. We were not around each other at the time this happened. We all got our cars very independently. We didn't know what the other one was doing or getting. We all got the same color. And if that's not a miracle, I don't know what is. Mine is actually silver and theirs is white, but it looked white in the sun. When I got it, I thought it was white. So when we come together, we heal our fears. And we heal that lack of confidence. We heal ourselves of feeling helpless or stuck. Because I certainly felt powerless to get a car, which I needed. And we heal our fear of being alone. So friends are going to be there. Even if your spouse dumps you, your friend's still going to be there for you. Okay? Even if your relative dies, your friend's still going to be there for you. You're never alone in God, and you're never alone when you have friends. So Danny, here. Catch. I already used up this other paper. Wow. I'm doing pretty good here. Okay, my friend. Hello? I think he's trying to steal my show.
Yes.
I could have sworn. Okay. My girlfriend Peggy's not here today, but she's been here. She's gone to Debbie's yoga classes a few times. And I I'd like to say that she taught me the first rule of dieting, which is if you eat food at somebody else's house, it doesn't count. Actually, that's a lie. She didn't teach me that, but she entrusted me to babysit the dog and left a big box of graham crackers on the kitchen counter. So what she really taught me was this rule, and I want you to remember this. It'll prosper you for the rest of your life. If your friend asks you to babysit their dog and leaves a big old box of candy or cookies on the counter in plain sight, you are not responsible for their decision to do that. Okay? Just saying. Peggy, when you get back, don't worry. I'm sure you can get more. But anyway, Peggy taught me that in times of worry, don't worry. It'll all work out. She always pushes through. And I've seen her go through times where she didn't know what was going on. The cash flow was not there. And boom, out of the blue, somebody gives her a call and hires her to do something. If she's low on self-esteem, she just meditates, relaxes, goes out and puts on music, has fun. She not only does that for herself and role models it, but she also reaches out for me and helps me. When I came back from San Diego, I didn't have a source of income. My dog business was gone. And she actually reached out to me, interviewed me, went through all my education and experience, and hired me to work as an assistant recreation therapist, which was amazing. I loved it. But when I got called back to San Diego to keep working, taking care of my dad, then I felt bad. I felt guilty because she had just hired me. And, you know, when you hire someone, it takes time to get them used to the environment and make sure they know how to do the paperwork and all that kind of stuff. So I told her, you know, I feel kind of bad. I don't know if I should go back or not. And this is what she told me. Brace yourself. She said, it doesn't matter. She says, I don't really need an assistant. I just wanted to make sure you had some income. She literally created a job just for me. And when I left, she didn't guilt bomb me. She never said anything about that. So she healed me of any insecurity, any fear of being incompetent or not being able to do a job or not being able to get a job. She also healed me of a lack of direction, lack of focus. She made me feel worthwhile, valuable, esteemed, respected, and trusted. And by that, and by her own personal resiliency, she demonstrates that you can bounce back from anything. It doesn't matter what's going on. It doesn't matter what went on in your past. It doesn't matter what's going on right now in your present. You can bounce back. And that's because of unity principle number 3. Humans create their own reality by their thinking. See, if something happens to Peggy, she puts on music and dances. She doesn't wallow. She doesn't get caught up in, oh my God, where's the next dollar coming from? If things are bad or something went wrong, she had a friendship that went bad or a boyfriend that went bad, she doesn't worry. She does a little bit, like we all do because we're human. But she gets over it really quickly. And that's something we can all learn from. Now, I have done some pretty questionable things in my life because sometimes I will volunteer or speak for something before I'm thinking, or there's an inner voice telling me, you don't really want to do that, but I go ahead anyway, okay? Your friends see where you're going. Your friends can tell if you're about to go off the deep end. Now, your friends may or may not tell you. It depends. They may or may not go with you, because I know some friends that will follow you over the cliff, thinking to be a good friend, I got to follow you over the cliff. But the wise ones just let you go where you're going to go, and they'll be there to welcome you when you get back, because you are coming back. But above all, no matter what decision you make or what stupid thing you just said, they still love you anyway. He's getting really good at this. They can see you right down to the core. And they can get distracted by some of the crazy stuff you do, but in the long run, they do accept you. And that's the beauty of it. Well, you guys know I just love singing in this choir. In fact, it's kind of this ego trip that I'm on. But I'm not totally responsible for the kind of joy that I'm getting out of this choir, because a lot of it's due to friends, okay? So, why am I here in the first place? Because I was on my way somewhere else, literally, and Susan and Lori were coming here, so I came here for one day only. It's been a year and a half. So, what can I say? I know. You don't know what your friends are going to suck you into, okay? And then, here's the other deal. That would have been fine. Yay, blah, blah, blah. I met their friends, da, da, da. But on the way out, I ran into Melvin Ricks, who is the founder of our choir, right? And Melvin says to me, hey, you know, it's obvious you enjoy singing and music. Why don't you join the choir? And my brain is thinking, but this is my last day here. It's my first day and it's my last day. I can't join the choir. But my mouth says, yeah, what a great idea. That sounds like a lot of fun. So a year and a half later, I'm still enjoying the vibes. You know, he was just this upbeat person. He had a friendly face. He was kind of inspiring. I was astonished that he had written a great book. He had good energy. So that's what happens. We're all cross-pollinating. We're all bumping against each other. Now, when you think of it, a music ensemble like we have is actually a bunch of ideas coming together. There's the band, the singers, the board of directors that gives us the key to get in, the musicians around the world that we can copy their music, people that invented light, sound, the craftsmen that built the instruments. A lot goes into it. That was a really good catch. And what happens is when you're bumping into all these people, some people cause problems and some cause solutions, and then they switch. And you never know where it's going to come from, but this is why you're here. This is why God created you, to come and mix it up. You know, at one time, God was in the universe alone, thinking, is this all there is? Okay? And I think, well, if God wanted something to play with or some friends to romp around with, what would God create those friends out of? Because God was the only thing there was. Well, out of himself or herself or itself, whatever you want to call it. So he wads up a ball, throws it out, and calls it a planet and says, it's good. God puts trees, it's good. God puts people, it's good. Everything's good. Do you see a theme coming? I can take a piece of myself, roll it up, look at it, and say it's good. Why not? So he didn't have any friends, but now we do. We have someone to play with. And last week, sometimes we need our friends to soothe us. So last week, I was stressing out about one of the songs we were doing. Because I love doing harmony, I love music, but I was supposed to sing above Debbie in one part and below Debbie on the other part. And I was thinking, I just don't know if I can do this. I can do harmony, no problem. But when I'm switching between the high and the low, I don't know. So Debbie tells me, don't worry, it'll be fine. And I was like, okay, let's just go with that. And it really kind of healed me because there was something soothing about the way she said it. It wasn't just shut up, get out of my face. It was like, you know what, let's just not worry about it. It's going to be great. We're always fine. We're doing great. So that moment really helped me find clarity because I knew, okay, she says it's going to be fine. What do I have to do to make sure my part's fine? So I wrote out I had the words, and I started marking the high parts and the low parts. Then this part popped out where I honestly didn't know if I was supposed to be low or high. Well, see, when a friend reassures you everything's going to be fine, it kind of gives you that relaxation where ideas start to come. Kind of like, you know, ideas that come in the shower when you're not thinking about it. Boom, now I knew what the problem was, and she could answer that question in 30 seconds. So I also realized this clarity from that experience. Your prayers are subconscious. You honestly don't know when you're praying. When you feel like tensed, that means you're looking for a solution, but you can't figure out what it is. That's what that is. Out to God. God hears everything you're thinking. So anyway, that gave me a lot of clarity. It gave me a lot of inspiration, and I'm glad I had a chance to co-create with Debbie over there. So I'm probably going to run over time, so I'm going to cut out. But I have one more thing to say, which is I looked around the church one day, and you weren't there, Dolores, and I thought, where is Dolores? I just miss her so much, I can't take it. She's worth 5 people. And I looked around, and Melvin wasn't here, and I felt the same way. And Flo's not here today, and I feel the same way. You're all worth 5 people. You know, I don't really care if we only have 3 people in this group or we have 100 people in this group. When you're not here, I notice, and it's painful. One day, Flo walked up to me, and I had been gone a few weeks, and she threw her arms around me, and she said, I hate it when you're not here. So we cracked up because we both understood where she was coming from. We've both been there. Now, next time you want to pray because you're feeling helpless, I want you to remember what God said when He created all of us. It is good. So if you're saying, oh God, please help me, I'm so inferior, I just can't do this, blah, 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 just say, reset, reset. And use God's language, because then it makes it easier for God to hear you. Just say, isn't it awesome? Isn't it awesome that I know when I've got this problem and I'm feeling like terrible, that you've got the solution? Isn't it awesome that you're going to find some sneaky way to feed that solution, like probably when I'm not even expecting it, like when I'm taking a shower? Isn't it awesome that all I have to do is kind of take a chill pill and everything will work out? It'll be fine. See, I think God orchestrates the problems and the solutions. I don't think God put us all here together thinking, oh, everyone's going to get together and get along, kumbaya. I don't think so, because I think God was too bored. That's why He created variety. Now, when you go out to other places and you miss a Sunday, maybe you're going to another church or maybe you're just going to the store, you're carrying a light with you. Every hero in all of storybook land has gone out away from home, learned and taught, gotten prizes, and brought them back home. So when you're not here, even though I'll miss you and I think you're worth 5 people, you're going to bring a prize back to us when you come back. So don't feel bad about anything you're doing. It's all meant to be. You'll be like my 5 friends, creating 5 solutions out of 5 principles. And you're all worth 5. Thank you, sweetie. Namaste.